defensive end. You've had really nice help side. What are you trying to get done on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to have awareness off the ball and being able to make sure that we're showing crowds. But then we've got to be better at getting back out to shooters when we are in help. We got to get back out to shooters and we got to finish plays.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much. Thanks. Stephanie White back on the bench for the Indiana Fever. Did a good job on A'ja Wilson. Said she wanted to make her life difficult, and A'ja only got one basket in that first quarter, and that's a good way to start things off defensively.
Yeah, Indiana continuing to trap Gray.
And A'ja Wilson starting the second quarter on the bench. Nye Evans, two bench players in there to start the quarter. Clark again.
Great job. First by Caitlin Clark, snaking the screen, and then recognizing the switch happen. You have the much smaller Evans on Aaliyah Boston, making it look easy.
Boston 6 of 7 from the floor. Colson picked Evans' pocket, and then a little bit of a collision. Boston knocked it out of bounds. 9 seconds to shoot. So big time mismatch. Gray, a little bit of space over Cunningham, and she does it again.
She has a knack, whether it's the end of quarters or end of shot clock, of draining those.
And the three falling for Kelsey Mitchell. Vegas trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. They've dropped 5 of 6. Chancy pass. Colson read it perfectly. It's a 2-on-1. Sydney gets it to Mitchell, but that was a tough shot, trying to contort her body under the basket. And Mitchell went over the 4,000-point mark in her career earlier this season. Wilson over Boston. Howard gets it over to Clark. Caitlin 0 for 4 from the floor. She has missed 10 straight threes. Going back to her last game where she was 0 for 7, only the second game in her career in which she did not hit a 3. Boston turns. Howard got it knocked away. Good play by Gray. Kelsey into A'ja, who couldn't field it cleanly, but she stayed with it. Good pace now for Indiana. This is what Clark can bring you, and just that little hesitation. She lost Lloyd, but missed the shot. 9 for 3.
How good has Aaliyah Nye been so far this season for Vegas? And Becky Hammond just raves about her motor, how hard she works, brings great size and physicality on the defensive end.
Second-round pick out of Alabama, and Caitlin Clark finally scores her first basket. As usual, a lot of Indiana/Caitlin Clark fans in the stands. Gray, short, she knew it, so she followed it up. Tipped it back to Evans, who buried it.
How about that on that play? Chelsea Gray goes in, gets an offensive board and an assist all in one motion by hitting that ball out.
She knew pretty much after she took the shot it was going to be short. Wilson picked up Clark, and then great patience by Boston.
And it really is a good sign for Caitlin Clark on a day where she's struggling to score and shoot a little bit, that she's still finding other ways to really be involved on the offensive end. 8 assists already in this game. Indiana.
Pam Ward, Rebecca Lobo, and Angel Gray joining you from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Wilson.
That time, A'ja.
Locker room presence, one of the connectors that you talked about that is so important for Becky Hammond. And now she is playing for the Fever. Wilson's had to work for every inch of real estate down there, and that one's short.
Outstanding defense by Aaliyah Boston, because Vegas likes to clear out the left side of the floor for A'ja Wilson to go to work.
Oh, gets a good look from the corner. Oh, knocking down the 3. Extends the lead up to 5. Biggest lead of the game so far for the Fever. Young gets her own miss, but Natasha Howard got a hand in there. Colson running the show with Clark on the bench.
Again, though, double drag action. It's worked really well for them.
Boston and Wilson. Good little matchup. A little bit of space. Boston got the roll.
Vegas isolating Asia on the left side. Indiana isolating and clearing out for Boston on the right side. Just South Carolina big going after South Carolina big.
It's a 7-0 run. Wilson frustrated. No foul call. What a pass to Mitchell on the run, and Becky Hammond takes a timeout. And got to try to figure out a way to score. Asia Wilson just 1 of 9 from the floor and has not taken a free throw attempt. There's her second field goal.
She looks up into the sky, praises the heavens that she finally got one to drop.
Yeah, so unusual. She's always such a high percentage shooter. Here she is out on Caitlin, who shoots over her and hits a three. You saw her do it over Brianna Stewart last week. That's the first three for Caitlin. 0 for 7 in her last game and had missed her first three this afternoon.
And Asia Wilson can defend on the perimeter, and she got
Young driving against Clark. Wilson with an open three. That's off the mark. Lloyd kept it going. And the ball hits air and goes back to the Fever.
Did you have to add the ball hits air part?
Nothing but air. Vegas only shooting 34% from the floor. They are dead last in the league in field goal percentage this season. We're used to seeing them near the top. There was a little bit of a tie-up, and they're going to call an offense. Vegas. Gray takes it into her own hands. On the switch, so Boston has the mismatch against Young. They go in.
And that's what you have to do, because Mitchell did not have the angle to deliver it from the wing. So where do you go? You go to the high post and look for the high-low. Beautifully executed by the Fever.
Just that extra pass made all the difference. So we hit 2 minutes to go in the half. Asia on Boston. It's been a treat watching that matchup. Clark took it away from Boston to get the rebound. Asia 2 of 12 now from the floor. Boston matched up down low against Lloyd. Paul can't get it to her and then threw it in the middle. Shot clock.
That's in a situation where Howard needed to flash into the middle.
Already, last 2 games averaging 21.5 per game. Triple team on Wilson, and finally, she draws the foul.
Well, she's only a 3-time MVP, and for good reason. She does so many things well on the floor. So the attention. Becky Hammond looked at her and said, I know. Take a moment, take a beat. She said, let me see those hands. Started rubbing her hands and said, you are going to do better in this game, and almost manifesting her to be better from the floor, guys.
That's all it takes. Becky Hammond rubbing your hands.
Magic hands of Becky Hammond, who was such a tremendous player. Goes out of bounds. The WNBA. Inside a minute now. And there's a whistle out on the floor. That's to the free throw line. 89% on the season. Vegas is 6 for 6.
I think this has been a relatively cleanly played game and a well-officiated game so far. Not that there's been any conversation about WNBA officiating in the last week.
Foul to give for Vegas. They don't take it, and Clark barely tipped the front of the rim. Frustrating first half for Caitlin from the floor. Clark, 5 points on 2 of 8 shooting, but does have 8 assists. Directing traffic. And now she's got Wilson on her. The 222s. Chance and some time now for Vegas. Young fires. That is the end of the first half.